Good Tuesday afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Thomas M. Garrity Athletic Complex in Jersey City for today's broadcast of NJCU softball here on Gothic Vision. Today, the Gothic Knights take on the Red Hawks of Montclair State University in a New Jersey Athletic Conference doubleheader. It's Montclair State coming in at 15-13, 4-6 in the NJAC. The Gothic Knights 8-14 overall, 0-10 in the league, looking for the first win. They've only beaten Montclair State 2 times in 38 all-time meetings. Christina Mezzi throwing to Kaylee Powers as we get things going here. First pitch was 3:01 p.m. as the Gothic Knights playing the first of 2 home doubleheaders this week, and of course then they play Sunday and Monday at home as well. Give you the lineups here as Mezzi is in front of Powers, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kaylee Powers leads off and plays second base. Noelle Hodgkins, the right fielder, bats second. Mezzi deals. That's foul back towards us. Elena Radicic bats third and plays third base. Blake Saperstein, the shortstop, and the cleanup hitter. Ali Wallach, the left fielder, bats fifth. Valentina Cucci, the designated player, bats sixth. Victoria Gehring in center field batting seventh. Samantha DeClementi, the first baseman, batting eighth. That's low. And Alana Luna, she's the catcher, batting ninth. Give you the defensive alignment for NJCU in just a moment. That's popped in the air, foul territory. Easy play for Hannah Gavin for out number 1. Defensively for NJCU, Christina Mezzi on the mound, throwing to last week's NJAC Rookie Player of the Week, Kayla Clark, behind the plate. All-conference, Brittany Pollock is at first. Carolyn Rivera, the cleanup hitter, is at second base. Naomi Alacio is at short, and Hannah Gavin, who just made that catch, at third. Meanwhile, Julie Squeals in left. Alanis Concepcion in center. As the pitch here, that's wide of the plate. Meanwhile, the right fielder is Melissa Mendoza. Umpire is Scott Nierenberg in Game 1 with Mark Rosenfield in the field. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bunted foul. Ira Thor with you live here from the Thomas M. Garrity Athletic Complex in Jersey City. About 60 degrees and sunny with a very light breeze in Game 1. 1-2, Mezzi deals. That's lined foul. In the third base box for the Red Hawks is Anita Kubica, 27th year. Kubica has been the head coach for the Red Hawks. One of the winningest coaches in Division III history. Popped in the air, foul. Clark going to have a look at it, but off the screen and back into play. Yuri Brutus from the Gothic Knight men's basketball team is on camera for us today. Tyler Krichkowski, former All-NJAC men's soccer player, on PA. Gene Campbell on the scoreboard. Everybody got their shout out early in the game. Everybody's happy. That pitch is high. Try to give you some scores from around the league as they become available today. That's popped in the air. Middle of the infield. Carolyn Rivera calls everyone off and makes the catch. So 2 away. It'll bring up the third baseman, Radicic, batting .264 on the year. Radicic is a freshman from White Plains, New York, out of Valhalla High School. Popped in the air, foul territory, on the run, Squeo. That ball was being blown back in the fair territory. It might have landed on the line. We're going to call it a FF7 as Radicic fouls out to Squeo on a close play as she was standing in foul territory. So Montclair State goes in order in the top of the first, and the Gothic Knights due up here in the bottom half of the inning. For the Gothic Knights, Alanis Concepcion leads off and plays center field. Brianna Rosario bats second. She's the designated player. Brittany Polkis, the first baseman, bats third. Carolyn Rivera, the cleanup hitter, and second baseman. Hannah Gavin at third base. She bats fifth. Naomi Alacio, the shortstop, bats sixth. Christina Mezzi, the pitcher, hits seventh, with Melissa Mendoza, the right fielder, hitting eighth. And Julie Squillo, a strong hitter, something you don't always see in the 9 spot. She bats ninth, gives NJCU a nice 9-1-2. When those positions come up, and the left fielder bats ninth for NJCU today. Meanwhile, for Montclair State, the pitcher will be Sam Keating. She's a sophomore right-hander out of Pompton Lakes, New Jersey. She throws today to the catcher, Alana Luna. Meanwhile, the rest of the defensive alignment for Montclair State, DeClementi's at first, Powers at second, Saperstein's at short with Radisich at third, Wallach in left, Gehring in center, and the right fielder is Hodgkins. Taking a look at the stats on the year for the pitcher, Sam Keating. She's made 13 appearances, 10 starts, 7 complete games. She's been part of 2 shutouts, including 1 solo, and she has a 5-4 record and a 1.86 ERA. First pitch to Concepcion is foul down the right field line. Keating on the year, 71 and 2/3 innings. She has struck out 26, walked 21, a 248 opposing batting average. Popped in the air, foul, out of play, 0-2. Montclair State tied with Rutgers Camden right now for the final spot in the NJAC tournament. The top 6 of 10 qualify. Montclair and Rutgers Camden through 10 games each have 8 points. That's lined up the middle for a base hit. So Alanis Concepcion, the rookie for NJCU, Nutley, New Jersey native, aboard with a leadoff single. First hit of the game for either team.
Now batting the designated player, number 5, Brianna Rosario.
So they'll bring up Brianna Rosario, starting to play better offensively, now hitting 196. Her average was about 100 points lower than that a month ago, so she's brought it up after a slow start. Drops down to sacrifice bunt attempt. And it is successful as Concepcion. Well, they're saying it hit home plate, so it's a foul ball. Foul ball. Are they saying it's a batter's interference?
Now batting the first baseman, number 25.
They're saying it's batter's interference. So Rosario's out on batter's interference, and Mark Del Volpe is going to have a quick conversation with Scott Nierenberg, but the explanation is batter's interference. So they'll bring up Brittany Polkis. We will verify that between innings. That pitch is in the dirt. Concepcion will stay at first. Ball blocked by Luna. The 1-0. That's off the plate. Two balls and no strikes. Polkis now showing bunt. I've never seen that before. And that's high. And I think that was just a deke. Polkis has the power to hit the bleachers, so I highly doubt she would bunt. It's called strike. There goes Concepcion, and she is thrown out 2-6. So Alanis Concepcion thrown out for just the second time this year, now 5 for 7. So now 3-ball, 1-strike count with the bases empty and 2 away. Swung on and missed, and the count is full. Gating deals off the plate. That's ball 4. So with 2 away, Brittany Pollock is walks, and it'll bring up Carolyn Rivera.
She should have never tried to steal. Yeah, that's steal. Wow, that's speed, baby.
Now batting the second baseman, number 18, Carolyn Rivera.
So Rivera, the freshman second baseman, resides in Brick, New Jersey. Graduate of Kearney High School. She's played in 20 of the 22 games so far, making 20 starts. Slow ground ball to third. Radicic, her throw to first, is in time, and Rivera is grounded out 5-3. So the Gothic Knights strand a runner on base after a leadoff single, a caught stealing, and a walk. No runs, a hit, 1 left on base. We head to the second, no score.
Knights, no runs, 1.
One ball count here to Saperstein, the leadoff hitter. And 2 balls and no strikes here in the top of the second inning. No score. NJCU against Montclair State. Around the league today, number 5 ranked Rowan is at Rutgers Camden. Rutgers Newark, which took a game from Rutgers Camden to get in the win column, they're at number 14 ranked Kane today. TC&J's at Stockton, Ramapo, and William Patterson, top 2 teams in the standings, square off today in Wayne, and all game 1 starts are at 3 p.m. William Patterson is 10-0 in the league. Ramapo's 9-1. Yet neither of them are nationally ranked, at least as of right now. I think that very easily could change. William Patterson, you're 20-6. Ramapo's 19-7. 3 balls and 1 strike. Ground ball to short. Alacio on 3 hops. Throw to Paulkis in time for out number 1. 1 away, and will bring up the left fielder Wallach, hitting 143 on the year. Sophomore out of Parsippany, New Jersey, Parsippany Hills High School. And it's ball 1. Montclair's had 3 different players be named NJAC Rookie Player of the Week this year. Elena Radicic, the third baseman. Blake Saperstein, who led off this inning, the shortstop. And Valentina Cucci, the designated player. All 3 have won the award. Kayla Clark for NJCU, the lone awardee this season. 2 balls, no strikes. Inside ball 3. Week 2, Week 3, and Week 5. Montclair won those awards. It's currently Week 8. That has been completed. That is ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk here with 1 out. And that brings up the aforementioned Cucci, the DP in this game. He's a freshman. He also pitches out of the Bronx, New York. Graduate of the Ursuline School. That's 5 straight balls now by Mezzi. That's called strike. As dominant as Montclair State has been in softball, and they've won a number of regular season titles and been deep in the NCAA tournament, I think finishing as high as 3rd, I want to say, in the College World Series, when Alex Hill, arguably the best pitcher ever in the NJAC, or at least certainly in this decade for sure, was leading the team. They were a perennial power in this league, yet they've only won 1 conference championship since 2009. That was in the 2013 season. It's hard to believe, but it's true. 2 balls and 2 strikes as Mezzi on that foul ball, and the count now even. 1 away here in the top of the second, no score. Popped in the air. Shallow right. Rivera comes out. It's going to fall in. And the Gothic Knights get lucky here. As a pop-up would have normally been an error. We might have called it a hit for miscommunication, but NJCU was able to get a force out of it as Mendoza throws to Alacio for the out. So, if you're Cucci, it's an unlucky situation. Ends up being a fielder's choice, as Wallach had to hold up. So now 2 away, and Gehring, the center fielder, and she looks at strike 1. Now, by the way, in that first inning, we have to go back and I got to take a look at the rule book, officially how we're going to rule what happened with Rosario in the bunt attempt. 0-1 pitch, ground ball foul. What they're saying is it wasn't specifically batter's interference. As she went to bunt the ball, she stepped on home plate, so she's automatically out, says the umpire, Scott Nierenberg. So it might just be an interference 2 unassisted. Usually I know the answers to these things, but in this case I do not. So I am clearly slacking. The 0-2 pitch. That's high. Mezzi with a runner on first in Cucci, who reached on the fielder's choice. Ground ball. Alacio. The flip to Rivera. The force ends the inning on the fielder's choice. So, Gehring grounds to shortstop. Cucci's retired 6-4. And the inning comes to a close. No runs, no hits, 1 left. Bottom of the second coming up. No score. NJCU Montclair State in Game 1. Bottom of the second inning, Hannah Gavin, ground ball foul to get us going. Popped in the air. And coming out, calling off 3 teammates, is the shortstop Saperstein for out number 1.
Now batting the shortstop, number 10, Naomi Olacio.
So with 1 away, it'll bring up the shortstop, Naomi Olacio, hitting .259 on the year. Olacio hit 2 home runs in Florida, but has not gone yards since. That's a called strike. Amazingly, Brittany Palkas only has 1 home run on the year. One ball, 1 strike, hitting deals. Line foul. That's low. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that's chopped foul. I went back and took a look at the NCAA rules, and while it doesn't specifically spell out the situation where Brianna Rosario stepped on the plate, it's not batter's interference, I don't think. So we're officially going to call it 2 unassisted and an interference call. Line on 1 hop to shortstop, the throw in time. That's the second out. So a 1 hop liner to short. Olacio is the second out. Brings up the pitcher, Christina Mezzi, hitting .297.
21, Christina Mezzi.
Ground ball right back to the pitcher, and the Gothic Knights go 1-2-3 here in the second. No score, we head to the third. NJCU and Montclair State. The Gothic Knights, the Red Hawks, scoreless through 2 innings, and here in the 3rd inning, as Mezzi's back out there, she'll face the first baseman, DiClemente. And that's fouled away. DiClemente is sophomore out of Washington Township, New Jersey. And Washington Township High School, 5'7" sophomore. She'll be followed by Luna, and then back to the top of the order for Powers. 1 ball, 1 strike on the foul ball. That's high. Scheduled for the rest of the week for NJCU. On Thursday, there'll be a makeup doubleheader against Purchase College, and then on Saturday they'll be on the road against Rutgers Newark. And that's lined right center field. That's a base hit. First hit for Montclair State, rolls to the wall. DeClemente around first, on her way to second with a stand-up double. So DeClemente aboard, and with nobody out, brings up the catcher, Alana Luna, hitting 127 on the year. Third double in the season for Samantha DeClemente. In a scoreless game here, as he deals in the dirt. Bunted foul. One ball, one strike. As he deals. Bunted in the air, and Gavin makes the catch in foul territory. So Gavin read it perfectly, and that is out number one. Failed sacrifice by Luna.
Second baseman number 9, Kaylee Powers.
So, one away, it'll bring the top of the order for the second baseman, Kaylee Powers. Powers fouled out to third base in the first inning. Powers, a freshman out of Newton, New Jersey, Pope John, the 13th high school. Fly ball, right center. Concepcion comes in and makes the catch. Going to third will be DeClemente with 2 outs. So a long run for Concepcion, but center fielder takes charge. And with now 2 away, it'll bring up the right fielder, Hodgins. She popped out to second base in her first at bat. She's hitting .326 on the year. Hodgins, a junior out of Paramus, New Jersey, and Paramus High School. That's high. One ball, no strikes, no score. Top of the third, game 1, NJCU and Montclair State. That's called strike. The Red Hawks are 36-2 all time against NJCU in softball. Ground ball. Alacio, her throw, not in time, and it will score a run in Montclair State on a ball hit into the left side gap. And deep in the hole is a single and an RBI and a 1-0 lead for the Red Hawks, their second hit of the inning. So Alacio made a strong throw, but the ball was hit into the hole, scoring DeClemente. Clark unable to hold on to the ball, so that's now a stolen base for Hodgins. Radicic, one-time Rookie Player of the Week, at the plate. The 0-1. Popped in the air, foul. The 0-2, that's high.
Let's go, ladies! Sound like Joe. Hold on, that sound like Joe. Go ahead, we here. All right, we here. We about to make this game go.
Popped in the air, foul. Out of play. It's a ball and 2 strikes. This will be the 50th pitch here in the third inning from Christina Mezzi. The 1-2. Swung on and fouled down the left field line. So foul ball. Keeps Radistich alive here against Mezzi. Radistich again out of White Plains, New York. One of several out-of-state players on the roster for Montclair. That's a hit in the air. Left center, it's going to fall in for a base hit. Scoring from second is Hodgins. And it's now 2-0 Montclair State. Both runs with 2 outs in the inning.
Now batting shortstop at 19, Blake Saperstein.
So an RBI single by Radistich. Hodgins scores. And now Saperstein will see if she can add to it. Swung on and missed. Off the plate, 1-1. It's called strike 1 and 2 here to the cleanup hitter for the Red Hawks. Montclair State has 3 hits, all here in the third inning. They lead 2-0. Mezzi deals, popped in the air, right side. Rivera is there, and she drops the ball. And all the way to second base on the error is Saperstein. Radistich the third.
Now batting left fielder number 6, Allie Wallach.
So 2-away now. After the error, a pair of runners in scoring position and Wallach up to see if Montclair State can break this game open here in the third. They already have 2 runs home. Radistich is the 7th batter of the inning. Swung on and missed, 1-1. Rivera was underneath it and let it drop. Off the tip of her glove, out of play. That's fouled away, 1-2 on a very catchable ball. For some reason, it looked like she was hesitant there. Mendoza was the right fielder. That's blocked by Clark, but was nowhere near her at the time. Previously, she and Mendoza got together on a pop-up to shallow right, and there was miscommunication. The ball dropped in, but it ended up being a fielder's choice and a force at second. That is low. It's full now, 3-2. And a ground ball could have gotten NJCU out of this inning. Instead, now it's a 3-2 count with 2 runners in scoring position, and that's lined to center field. That is a base hit. Scoring from third is Radistich. Saperstein is right behind her. Throw to second, not in time. It's a double to right center, and 2 more runs in for Montclair State. They lead 4-0, a pair of unearned runs. So, now it'll be Cucci, the 8th hitter in the inning, and Montclair State is beginning to pull away. In the dirt, and Clark saves it from going to the backstop. That's a called strike. No balls and 2 strikes. And line fair over the head of Polakis. Rounding third and coming home is Wallach. It's an RBI single by Cucci, and the damage continues.
Now batting center fielder number 1, Victoria Kelly.
So 5-0 Montclair State on top of the Gothic Knights. And that's hitting the air left field. On the run, Squeo makes the catch. And the inning mercifully comes to a close. But not before Montclair State scores 5 runs. 3 of them were unearned on 5 hits. An error, a costly error at that, and 1 left. We head to the bottom of the third. 5-0 Montclair. So the Gothic Knights, after giving up 5 runs on 5 hits. A lot of work to do here in the bottom of the third will be Melissa Mendoza, the right fielder, leading off, and she looks at strike 1 from the pitcher Keating. It's called strike. No balls and 2 strikes. Lined right back to the pitcher, in and out of her glove, and Keating will finish the play off 1-3. So a 1-3 retires Mendoza. Julie Squeo, the number 9 hitter, hitting .317, steps to the dish. Carlstadt native. And Squeo fouls it away. Squeo in the year for the Gothic Knights is actually number 3 in the team in batting average. And along with Brittany Pollock, is one of just 2 players to have started every game. Squeo's 60 at-bats, 19 hits, 4 doubles, 3 triples on the season. .382 on base percentage. The 1-1. Swung on and missed, a pitch in on the hands. Squeo does not strike out a lot. She makes contact. And it remains 1-2 after the foul ball. Swung and a missed. And she's retired 2-3, so we say Squeo doesn't strike out a lot, but she does that time on a pitch away there by Keating. Good pitch. Squeo chased it. She's retired.
Center fielder, number 19.
So 2 away. It'll bring up Alanis Concepcion. She is the only hit for the Gothic Knights. That led off the bottom of the first inning. now hitting .317 on the season. Ground ball to short on one pitch. That's in the dirt, and it gets past the first baseman, Concepcion. On the error will take second base, and she dives in feet first. So an error on the shortstop, Saperstein, and the Gothic Knights have a two-out base runner in scoring position.
Now batting the designated player, number 5, Brianna Rosario.
Rosario, who was called out for interference for stepping on the base, home plate I should say actually, in the first inning on a sacrifice attempt. See if she can make up for that. And that's a ground ball through the right side. That's a base hit. Concepcion will be held up at third by head coach Veronica Grant. So an error and a single for the Gothic Knights. And we'll see if NJCU now with Brittany Pollicus coming up can cut into this deficit. They trail 5-0. Pollicus walked in the first. Pitch to Pollicus. That's off the plate. The 1-0. That's high. Two balls and no strikes. Inside. No, Pollicus reaches. Rivera will be due up. That's off the plate, so Pollicus does walk for the second time. And the bases are loaded with 2 outs, and can Carolyn Rivera make up for her costly error? Rivera hitting .322 on the team. Second leading hitter. She has 7 doubles on the season and 7 RBIs. .339 on base percentage. Inside corner, strike 1. An error extended the inning. Rosario then singled, and Pollicus has walked, so the bases are loaded with 2 outs. And that's lined to left center, coming on the run, and making the catch is the center fielder, Gehring. And that prevents NJCU from getting on the board. So a line out to center, and the Gothic Knights leave the bases loaded, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 error. 4th inning coming up, it's 5-0 Montclair. D. Clemente, who started the 3rd inning with a double and later scored, due up here, and the first pitch was a ball. Second pitch also inside, so it's now 2-0. She's showing bunt. And that's popped foul. DiClemente hitting .271, updated current batting average. Pop in the air, shallow left. Alacio comes out, settles underneath it, and makes the catch. So with one away, I'll bring up the catcher, Alana Luna, who fouled out on a bunt attempt to third base. She's hitting .125. In the dirt, snagged by Clark. Montclair State with all 5 runs in the third inning. That's high. Off the plate as well. So 3-0 here with 1 out. So she walks on 4 pitches. And with 1 away, it'll be the top of the order for the second baseman, Powers. Powers is 0 for 2, a foul out to third. And she also popped out to center field. 5 runs, 5 hits for the Red Hawks. No runs, 2 hits for the Gothic Knights. Each team has committed an error. The one for the Gothic Knights, costly, as 3 unearned runs scored. Gothic Knight baseball team will be in action in about 10 minutes on the other side of the complex, taking on Old Westbury. That's a makeup game from a March postponement. NJCU baseball's had the last 2 days off after playing 12 games in an 8-day span, covering about 110 innings. 1-1. Low. That is off the plate as well. 3-1. Taking a look at the upcoming schedule for the Gothic Knights. Thursday, a makeup game against Purchase. 3 p.m. start here in Jersey City. Saturday, the Gothic Knights at Rutgers Newark in a 1 p.m. NJAC doubleheader. As he deals, that's lined over the head of Gavin and down the left field line. Joey squeals over there quickly to gather it up, so it's just a long single by Powers. And the 6th hit for Montclair State puts runners at first and second. So with 2 on and 1 out, it'll be the right fielder Hodgins. 1 for 2 with a single, an RBI, and a run scored. And that's a called strike. Gothic Knights will also be home 3 days in a row. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday against Hunter, Staten Island, and TCNJ. The first 2 are makeup games. Ground ball to second. And they only go for the lead play there. Rivera did not try to tag the runner who tried to run around her.
Now batting at third base for number 17, Elena Radicic.
And instead just to force. Powers is at second. Luna's at third. And that's popped in the air. Foul territory. Squeal's going to give it a look, but it's out of play by about 5 feet. That's a called strike on the inside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. In the air, right field. Mendoza reaches up, makes the catch. She had to hop there at the very last second, and the inning comes to a close. So a line out to right field. No runs, 1 hit. There were 2 left on for Montclair State in the 4th inning. They lead 5-0. Bottom in the 4th inning, Hannah Gavin will be due up, and she fouls off the first pitch, swings through that one, and it's 0-2. Gavin, Alacio, and Mezzi due up for the Gothic Knights, trailing 5-0. The 0-2, and that's popped in the air, shallow left center, going to fall in for a base hit, so a 3rd hit for the Gothic Knights, and Hannah Gavin is aboard. Gavin, now 1 for 2.
Now batting the shortstop, number 10, Naomi Olacio.
Alacio, the shortstop, grounded out to shortstop in the 4th inning. Keating has now thrown 40 pitches, 28 for strikes, and has kept the Gothic Knights at bay. The 1-0. Ground ball. Could be 2. She tags the runner, throws on to first, and that is a 4-4-3 double play. Alacio out as well.
Now batting the pitcher, number 21, Christina Mezzi.
So good defense there by Montclair State as the second baseman Powers is able to get 2 for the price of 1, and that brings up the pitcher Mezzi. Grounded out 1-3 in the 2nd inning. Ground ball foul. You would think that if Montclair State wins at least 1 from NJCU today, they'll move into the 6th spot. That's hitting here to right center. It's going to fall in for a base hit for Christina Mezzi. So the Gothic Knights with their 2nd hit of the inning. And Mezzi's aboard. That brings up Mendoza, the right fielder.
15, Melissa Mendoza.
So Mezzi went the opposite way. Mendoza hitting .227. She grounded out to the pitcher 1-3. More of a line drive than anything that was dropped, as it was hit sharply back at the pitcher, just trying to protect herself in and out of her glove, and then she found the ball and was able to throw out Mendoza. The 1-0. Ground ball to short. Saperstein the short way to the second baseman Powers on the 1-0 pitch, and the Gothic Knights are out of the 4th inning. No runs, 2 hits, and 1 left on Fifth inning coming up. It's 5-0 Red Hawks in game one. Fifth inning, and Saperstein facing Mezzi. She has a 2-ball count here. Saperstein reached on an error and scored in the third. Her pop-up dropped by Rivera at second base. This is popped up out of play, and it hits the top of the press box. That's the loud bang you just heard. Don't worry, we're all right. The 2-1, that's in the dirt. So 3 balls and 1 strike. 6 hits for Montclair State, but they've scored 5. And that's ball 4, so a 5-pitch walk.
3-1.
Third walk given up by Mezzi. She's allowed 5 runs. 2 earned. Has otherwise pitched a good game. Wallach, the left fielder, due up. Swung on and missed. Wallach, despite hitting just, I think, 170 coming into play today, has been on base twice, a walk and a 2-run double. Actually, it was lower than that. She was hitting 143 coming into play today, so limited, obviously, action. This is just her 9th game and 4th start. Inside. Corner, it's a called strike. So obviously when you have a limited number of games played, your average can jump around very quickly. Swung on and missed. First strikeout by Mezzi. That'll drop her average back below 200 on the year. And as out number 1 with Saperstein at first base, it'll bring up the designated player Cucci, hitting .299. 1 for 2 today with a single and an RBI. In the dirt, it hit the batter. And she will trot down the first base. First batter hit by Mezzi in this game, and 2 aboard with 1 out. We're at the Thomas M. Garrity Athletic Complex here in Jersey City, New Jersey. Montclair State, New Jersey City. 5th inning in game 1. Fly ball, left field on the first pitch. Squio underneath it makes the catch. Squio, the sure-handed left fielder for the Gothic Knights. That's out number 2.
Now batting the first baseman, number 10, Sandy Clementi.
Squillo has made just 2 errors in left field the entire season, playing every game. She has the least errors of any regular player on the lineup. On the run, Squillo again makes the catch in foul territory. So we praise her, and she makes a great play.
What? I'm not talking to you. Come on, man.
So in FF7, Squillo with back-to-back solid plays, and the Gothic Knights out of the trouble here in the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, and 2 left on. Bottom of the 5th coming up.
Gothic Knights, the left fielder, number 12, Julie Squillo.
So Julie Squillo makes 2 nice plays in left field, and the way it always works, you get to bat next, and popped in the air, but coming in and making the running catch on the first pitch was the first baseman D. Clementi in fair territory. So I'll pop out to first, and it'll be the top of the order for Concepcion, who's been aboard twice, a single, and she reached on an error.
Alanis Concepcion.
Chopped foul. Give you updates in the baseball game when they become available. Dan Berardi of the baseball team named the NJAC Player of the Week. Had a big week with 16 hits in 8 games. 3 games of at least 3 hits. Popped in the air, second base. Powers is there, that's out number 2.
Now batting the designated player, number 5, Brianna Rosario.
So now with 2 away, it'll bring up Brianna Rosario, the number 2 hitter, designated player, singled in the 3rd inning. She's 1 for 2, hitting .207, and that's a called strike. Rosario lays off, 1-1.
Yeah.
Ground ball, gloved on the run by Radicic. Her throw in time, and the inning comes to a close. So no runs, no hits. Gothic Knights go in order here in the 5th. 5-0 Montclair. We head to the 6th. Top of the 6th inning, and Mezzi throwing to the catcher Luna in the dirt behind her on the second pitch, 1 ball and 1 strike. That's high, 1 and 2. It's Luna, Powers, and Hodgins, the number 9, 1 and 2 hitters for Montclair State, which scored 5 runs in the top of the 3rd, 3 of which were unearned after a 2-out era. The 2-1. That's ball 3. Mezzi now over 100 pitches. Doesn't matter, obviously, as much on a softball side of things. Baseball, that's a much more significant note, but there's a point where you will get tired. Swung on and missed. Not as much as your arm getting tired, but you've just physically getting tired after you've thrown maybe 120-something pitches. That's ball 4. There are some pitchers who can throw every inning of every game and be no worse for wear. But ideally, you'd like to have 2 pitchers at least. And that hit her on the hand that she went to bunt the ball. And I don't know about that one. She stepped into the pitch. Mezzi upset by the call. The batter Powers trying to bunt it actually stepped out over the plate. That's how she got hit by the pitch. And the call stands. So on the hit batter, Luna to second base, 2 aboard with nobody out. And Hodgins fouls it off. She's exact same thing. She stepped into the pitch that time, and I think she got hit as well. I think that one got the handle, and she was holding her left shoulder, probably just the vibrations of where the bat got hit. You could feel that sometimes. Offers at it again, and it's 0-2. You forget that sometimes, too, if you haven't played in a while. If you swing the bat and just take it off the wrong part, you could feel it through your entire body. Line towards shortstop. It gets past Alacio. It's going to be a base hit. In the hole. Tough play for Naomi Alacio, and everybody's safe. So the bases are loaded with nobody out. And it'll be the one-time Rookie of the Week, Lena Radicic, the third baseman, the number 3 hitter. She's 1 for 3 today, and that's high. Popped in the air. Left side, Gavin calling everyone off. The third baseman running towards the circle makes the catch. And I believe that's the infield fly rule anyway.
Now batting the shortstop, number 19, Blake Saperstein.
Saperstein, left field. Squillo on the run, makes the catch. The throw to the plate, perfect. And good thing Luna held up because she would have been out by 30 feet. Luna was halfway down the line. And Squillo threw a perfect strike to the plate. So now 2 away. And it'll be up to the left fielder Wallach. Walked, doubled. That goes to the backstop, and it's going to score a run on the wild pitch. Everybody advances on the wild pitch. Gothic Knights were almost out of this inning. 2 balls and no strikes. Now runners at second and third. That's a called strike. Late call there by the umpire. That's a called strike. Now even at 2-2. And that's lined towards shortstop. Palacios there. She makes the catch, and the inning comes to a close.
So wait, if you don't score, count 2-2.
1 run on 1 hit. Montclair State leaves 2. They had the bases loaded with nobody out. Score only on the wild pitch. We head to the 7th inning. Or correction, bottom of the 6th inning. And it's 6-0 MSU. Well, the Gothic Knights now trailing 6-0. It'll be their 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Policus, Rivera, and Gavin due up. Gothic Knights with 6 outs to work with. And that's floated towards left field over the head and dropped by the left fielder. Wallach got underneath it, in and out of her glove, and then did not know where the ball was. So Policus aboard on what was a catchable fly ball.
Number 18, Carolyn Rivera.
And the first batter for the Gothic Knights is aboard. Policus is trying for 100 career hits in just 3 years. That will not go as a hit. And it'll be Rivera due up. So 1 on and nobody out. It'll be the second baseman Rivera trying to drive Policus in. That is ball 2. Rivera has an error of her own. Montclair's made 2 errors in this game. Yet they lead 6-0. Fouled back towards us, off the screen, and it remains on the field of play. 2 balls and 1 strike. Game 1 here in Jersey City. Inside, 3-1. And Rivera, ground ball foul. Three balls and 2 strikes. Ground ball to short. Policus will stay, and the throw goes to first base. So a 6-3 ground out, 1 away. Now it'll be Hannah Gavin due up.
Now batting the third baseman, number 2, Hannah Gavin.
Gavin, the first pitch strike. She has a single in today's game. And that's hit in the air, right center field. And it is gone. Hannah Gavin That ball carried over the right center field fence quickly. She hit her first career home run on Saturday against Rowan. She goes yard again. It left the park quickly, and her teammates out to congratulate her as Hannah Gavin with her second career home run, and the Gothic Knights on the board. It's 6-2.
Now batting the shortstop, number 10, Naomi Alacio.
So now it's 6-2, and Naomi Alacio will step in. The Gothic Knights now a little closer at the ground ball to short. In the dirt on the throw by Saperstein, but it's dug out by DiClementi, and that's the second out. 2 away to bring up Christina Mezzi.
Christina Mezzi.
And now, how big do the misplays in this game loom for the Gothic Knights? A pop up to second that was dropped that led to 3 runs, and a wild pitch with bases loaded and 2 outs. Otherwise, the game is tied at 2. Mezzi ground ball to short this time. Saperstein sets her feet, and a much better throw as the Gothic Knights ground out to short on consecutive pitches. But the Gothic Knights get on the board 2 runs following an error as Hannah Gavin hits her second home run of the year. That matches the team high for the season. We've played 6, it's 6-2. Seventh inning, and the first pitch by Mezzi way inside to the designated player, Cucci. She'll be followed by Gehring and DiClementi. Number 6, 7, and 8 hitters due up for the Redhawks. 6-2 ball game in Game 1 here in Jersey City. Ira Thor with you live from the Thomas M. Garrity Athletic Complex in Jersey City, where the teams will play 2, and the sun now beginning to beat on us here in the press box. And you'll be able to see that on your screen at home. 3 consecutive balls by Mezzi. That's a called strike. Top of the 7th, the Gothic Knights, if they can get out of this frame, will have 3 outs to try to make up 4 runs. And that is ball 4. So Cucci on base for the 3rd time. She has a single and an RBI and been hit by a pitch and walked. And there's going to be a defensive change made by longtime head coach Anita Kubica. Will be a pinch runner likely at first. .21 players on the roster from Montclair. And coming into the game will be number 5, Brianna Luciano, a sophomore out of Vineland, New Jersey.
Pinch running for Montclair, number 5, Brianna Luciano.
So, with a runner at first after the walk, which, by the way, for Mezzi was her 5th walk, she's hit 2 batters, struck out 1. Sacrifice bunt attempt, and that is executed by Gehring. Luciano goes to second. So, with a runner at second base, DiClemente will step in, hitting .264. She has a double and a run scored, 1 for 3 in this game. It's called strike. Popped, foul. That's inside. Ground ball to third. Gavin. Her throw's in time. She looked back to runner. And then after Gavin's throw went to first, Luciano, who's apparently got a lot of speed, took off the third.
1-2.
So, now 2-away, runner at third, and the catcher, Luna, is due up, but I believe there's going to be a pinch hitter here as Anita Kubica out having a conversation again with Scott Nierenberg, the umpire. And pinch hitting for the catcher, Luna, is number 24, Alenis Garcia. She's a freshman out of Elmwood Park, graduate of Union City High School.
Pinch hitting number 24, Alenis Garcia.
That's a called strike on the outside corner to the left-handed hitting Garcia. Garcia looking for her first collegiate hit. She's had 5 at-bats. Off the plate's a 1-1 strike. 6 hits, 7 runs for Montclair, 5 runs in the third. That's most of the damage, with a single run in the 6th. Both of NJCU's runs came in the last half inning on Hannah Gavin's 2nd home run in 3 days. And that's low. Two one. That's high. And that is low for ball 4. So the second walk of the inning. Now with 2 outs, it'll be the top of the order to Powers as she tries to add on to the lead. It's a 4-run lead for the Redhawks, who are trying to improve to 37-2 all-time against the Gothic Knights in softball. That's called strike. Team that was unbeatable several years ago when Alex Hill was on the mound for Montclair State. Ground ball to short. This should end it. Alacio the short way. Rivera steps on second on the force. The inning comes to a close. So in the 7th inning for the Redhawks, no runs, no hits, a couple walks. That leaves Montclair straining 2 on. And the Gothic Knights will have 3 outs to try to make up for a 6-2 deficit.
0-2.
So Montclair State makes a couple quick changes defensively. Brianna Luciano, who came in as a pinch runner, will stay in the game and play left field in place of Wallach. Wallach stays in the game should NJCU tie it as the flex player, offensive player, DP. Meanwhile, returning will be the catcher, as Alana Luna back behind the plate, and we'll see if the pitcher Sam Keating, the sophomore right-hander from Pompton Lakes, is able to finish off a complete game victory for MSU, looking to improve to 6-4 on the year. This will be her 8th complete game if she's able to get through Mendoza, Squillo, and Concepcion, the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Gothic Knights. So far, the line on Keating pretty good. 6 innings. She's given up 2 runs, 1 earned, 5 hits, walked just 2, hit no one, 1 strikeout. Giving up the home run to Hannah Gavin. That's the only damage in this game. Popped third base. Easy play as Radicic puts away Mendoza for out number 1.
Number 12, Julie Squillo.
It was 1-1.
So 1 away, Julie Squillo. That's a called strike. The left fielder is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a pop out to first. And Squillo is hit by the pitch.
Now batting the center fielder, number 19, Alanis Concepcion.
That's in and out of the glove, nearly a passed ball, but not nearly far enough for Squillo to advance. Ground ball to third. On to second. And just in time for 1. So a forced play retires Squillo. And Squillo's retired 5-4. Second out brings up Brianna Rosario, the last chance for the Gothic Knights here in the 7th. We're going to have a pinch hitter here is Kayla Clark, who was the flex player, is going to come in as the pinch hitter here.
Now batting the catcher, number 11, Kayla Clark.
So Clark, and she lines that one deep down the left field line and foul. That's high. By the way, Squillo, that was the 15th time in her career she's been hit by a pitch. 6th time this year. That matches her total from her freshman season. That's high. Clark is, oh my gosh, foul ball hit her bat and then came up and I think it caught her in the face. And she's being checked on by head coach Veronica Grant and also head athletic trainer Anne-Marie Stobling. It's actually Carla, assistant athletic trainer, Carla Mejia, out to take a look at Clark, who's in a considerable amount of pain, and likely NJCU will need to have her pinch hit. She'll have a brief amount of time to get treatment from the trainer. If not, NJCU will need to make a substitution. That's a tough play. A foul ball off the handle. Came up and actually caught her, I think, in the bridge of the nose. I was mentioning, by the way, that Squeal's been hit now by 15 pitches. She's now 7 away from the school record. 22 by former teammate Talia Garcia. So Clark unable to finish the at-bat. And on a 2-2 pitch, it'll be Kiani Ingram coming in now as the pinch hitter to finish the at-bat.
Pinch hitting number 1, Kiani Ingram.
So Ingram comes in on a 2-2 pitch. Gothic Knights are down to their final strike. This at-bat belongs to Clark. Unless Ingram is able to get a base hit here, then it would be Ingram's. And that is strike 3 looking. And that's the end of the game. As Ingram, the first pitch she sees is a fastball at the knees. And the ball game is over. Ingram goes down on strikes to finish the at-bat by Clark. And the Gothic Knights fall in game 1 by a score of 6-2, which we'll announce to the crowd here at the Garrity Complex. In the 7th inning for the Gothic Knights, no runs, no hits, and 1 left on. Your final score in game 1 of our doubleheader: Montclair State 6 runs, 7 hits, and 2 errors. New Jersey City 2 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error. Game 2 of our doubleheader will begin at approximately 5 p.m. So that'll do it in game 1 as Montclair State, based on 5 runs in the 3rd, able to knock off NJCU by a score of 6-2. The win for Montclair State is their 16th of the year. They're 16-3, 5-6 in the NJAC. Now 10 points. Important points today for Montclair as Rutgers Camden is on the road. They're at home, but they're taking on 5th-ranked Roan, and those are 2 games that you would expect the Profs to win. So Montclair State and Rutgers Camden vying for the final spot in the NJAC tournament with just 8 games remaining in the league coming into play today, and Montclair State gets the job done in game 1. The loss drops NJCU to 8-15 overall, 0-11 in the NJAC. Game 2 of our doubleheader, NJCU and Montclair State, coming up at approximately 5 p.m. We're going to sign off this broadcast, and we'll sign on the next one at approximately 4:55 as we give you the starting lineups for our second game. Once again, Montclair State in game 1 defeats NJCU by a score of 6-2. Please join us for our game 2 broadcast coming up. We'll see you soon.